Right, round two of this league. Pterodactyl faces us down from across the board. Um, hmm. This isn't an amazing hand, but I like keeping it. We have a disallow, we've got a tower, we've got anticipate to kind of find some more action. There are decks this hand is not fantastic against, but anticipate gives us a bit of flexibility. Probably won't want to see a turn 1 Toolcraft exemplar here, put it that way. Our opponent, we have had some fortune in our opponents having to mulligan a fair bit in round 1. Blooming Marsh, so it looks like it's an energy deck. Green Belt Rampager, which we will be able to deal with a Harness Lightning. Yeah, so let's keep up that Harness Lightning with the Spire Bluff. Also, it just gives a bit of flexibility. We never know what we want to hit it. Like, you definitely hit a snake if that hits the board. Rampage are one of the better cards against us, because 4 is a little hard to deal with. Glint Sleeve Siphoner. I feel like I definitely want to deal with that. Like, I can just start the chain off a bit early, and I just don't want opponent drawing extra cards. So our opponent is going to get to land something, probably that Rampage, but let's get the tower down now. Black-green, I actually haven't had the opportunity to play against black-green too much. One of the things that Temur Tower has been touted on is that it's got a good green-black matchup. So we'll get to put that to the test. Ooh, another Siphoner. So, Torrential Gearhulk's not bad. So I think we go for a main phase anticipate here, purely so we can take down this Siphoner. Because again, one way it feels like this matchup would be a way to lose. Oh, Shield Aether Thief's a good one. Would be letting that card get out of hand and draw too many extra cards. Like, it feels like the longer we take it against black-green, the better shape we're in. Hissing Quagmire. So hopefully we get a block off here with the Aether Thief. I mean, Aether Thief could also be a Fatal Push or something, because green-black, I assume, is still running a full set of like Fatal Push and Grasp of Darkness, and they're not really going to find many of the targets. Yeah, it says a Grasp. So we're going to take 3. Ether Hub. So now we get to hold up Torrential Gearhulk, which is nice. So we might excise that option. Going to hold up Disallow, because I think one of the things I'm a little worried about is Gearhulk on their side. So I'm just going to take this extra hit of 3 here for now. Because I don't want them to land a massive Gearhulk. It does feel like a way to lose quite quickly. Long Tusk Cub. That's okay for now. Is the follow-up a snake? Yes, it is. So 2 energy on the cub will make it a 4/4. Oh, we don't have Gearhulk mana up. That's awkward. It's very awkward. Got out of it. So bad plays aside. So I guess the plan here is we'll see what our opponent does. I'm going to pump the cub here, because if they go for the attack, they don't immediately have anything with energy. They've not played a 5th land. My immediate... Oh, a Tomb of Aether. I don't get an extra energy off that. So this cub currently is like... We're flashing the Gearhulk. This is... Oh, Nissa. Nissa makes things tricky. Okay, so... Okay, how does this go? So if we disallow this Nissa, this is going to get pumped up to a 4/4 and then a 6/6, which is a little too big for my liking. If we flash in Gearhulk now, that's going to happen anyway, and we won't have a particularly easy way to deal with that cub. So I think... Yeah, so if I could take that back and realise how many lands I had in play, I would have disallowed the snake at the end of turn. I think what we're incentivized to do here is let this Nissa resolve, and then in response to the minus counters, kill the snake. This is going to mean that our opponent ends up with a massive Onta Scub, but we'll find a way to deal with it. Opponent is out of gas after this, or close to it. So I assume this is where we're going to see the pump on the cub. Yep, so that's going to become a 4-4 and then a 6-6. So, kind of hindering ourselves with misplays a bit. Let's say la vie. We just have to deal with it. So snake down. Cub's actually going to become a 7-7. So we're going to take a fairly big hit. Putting the counter on now. It's interesting. Well, we can't really attack because I think you would just let Nissa die. So basically, I think our plan is we're going to have to. Yeah, we're going to hope our opponent casts something pre-combat or activates a Hissing Quagmire. Attunement with Ether was not what I had in mind for that. And we could still disallow it. Well, actually, if we disallow, we don't have enough to activate the, what do you call it, tower. Let's see what our opponent does. Okay, let's just activate this and just throw it under the bus and the effort of buying ourselves more time. Yeah, not realizing how many lands I had up was a big error. This we'd be in a much more manageable situation had I realised and countered the snake. Harness lightning. 6. I think that does it. I think that is enough to kill it. So we'll go up to 6 and 8. Then once, if they, I mean, it puts us in a pretty rough position, but then if they try and save it with the trigger, then we can disallow the trigger. So 5. And you're still not in a great spot. Like, I don't think anyone likes ever having to disallow a long tusk cub trigger. But it's gone. Hopefully this is a spot to stabilise in. Our opponent still has one card over us. A Hissing Quagmire and an active Nissa. So really we're looking to find another Gearhulk or something along the lines of a looking to find another Gearhulk or a Glimmer of Genius. Gonna take the 2 here, because next turn they might try and minus Nissa, but I think we have to Dynavolt down the Nissa. Not great. A minus on Nissa is quite annoying here, but we don't really have much option. Was this a Gearhulk? Ooh, that's pretty bad. But let's see what they do with it. If they try and put it all on the Gearhulk, that works to our advantage. But I assume you'd put a couple on the Rampage to just get it out of the range of the Gearhulk. But yeah, this isn't looking great. So, okay, they put it all on plants. So just going to diversify the threats here. I would have put 2 counts on this, because then it can just Well, I guess you can do it with Nissa as well, can't you? Does that leave us just dead? It does. Okay, so that was a very winnable game that we punted away. Okay, so black, green, black, green, black, green, black, green. So even with this, I think we take a couple. Yeah, I think the plan with this one is generally these don't do enough. Negate has like one or two targets. Radiant Flames can be too slow. Word of Victorioso doesn't really do enough. Release the Gremlins doesn't have enough targets. Would expect our opponent to bring in like Lifecrafter's Bestiary maybe, Transgress. They've got some things they can bring in. Confiscation Coup is just you can steal the big creature. Only sideboarding I've been told that is good against black green. But yeah, this feels like basically if you can kind of survive the early storm, you can grind them out. But that is contingent on not forgetting how many lands that you have. Gonna keep this one. A little on the slow side, but Aether Thief should do some work. And having two early towers can be quite good, especially because green obviously has access to some artifact removal. Trader Toons. I mean, it's an interesting question whether, like, obviously the deck has moved away from Rogue Refiner. So the only target for a Fatal Push in this deck is the Aether Thief. It's also the only target for a Grasp of Darkness, so it depends on green when you're playing green-black. Like, do you keep that in? Not going to try and surprise the opponent with an Aether Thief, just because we want to use up our mana efficiently. Also, we can play an Aether Herb next turn, and have the option of drawing a card. The question is, the downside to that is when it means we would have to pay an energy for a disallow, so it kind of takes away that plan anyway. So I think drawing the Botanical Sanctum kind of behooves me to pick that up. So what's also interesting, our opponent, Forest, so no Swamp yet. And that Attune got a Forest, so yeah, assuming they do have a Swamp in there. So we'll see what our opponent does here. The main reason I want to hold up Disallow this to not play a Dynavolt Tower is because Nissa is not great to deal with. And some of the more annoying threats from black-green come at free. If it's a version running Ether Sphere Harvester, for example. Ooh, this has got sideboard Scrap Heap Scroungers. Well, I'm glad we kept in an actual obsolescence. I mean, Aether Thief does kind of blank Scrounger a bit as well. So now we'll play an Aether Hub. So now we do have the option of drawing a card end of turn. We've also drawn another Aether Thief, so it is an option open to us if our opponent taps out early. Yeah, so Rishkar is one I don't want to let resolve, because that basically lets both get past the Aether Thief and can be quite... No, letting them ramp, there's just very little benefit to letting them do that. We are going to get to draw a card here by the looks of it. Or at least get an extra energy. Okay, that kind of works out for me. Get an island out of the way. So next turn we get to Aether Thief and hold up a tower. Interesting to note, the Blossoming Defense obviously can be pretty clutch at the right moment. I think the main thing I'm worried about here is if opponent goes untapped land. The Gear Hulk. Doesn't look like that's happening just yet. So flashing another Aether Thief. Gonna get to gain an energy. No Blossoming Defense this time, so we just take the 3. See what the follow-up is. So there is an Ether Hub. Post-combat Gearhulk? Kalitas? 4 mana. Walking Ballista on 2. So that might just take out his Thief now. Yep. Ooh, these were all great draws. So what's better here? We could play a Dynavolt, play Shock, go up to 6 energy. But then we don't get to play Glimmer. I mean, basically, well, no, I think it's just better to cast Glimmer and Shock this turn. The question is, what do we Shock? Probably Ballista. Probably Ballista. I mean, we could play around Blossoming Defense, but if they've got it up already, so let's do it on their turn. Siphoner. So I wonder why a pre-combat Siphoner. Oh, I see. This is a hedge against Gearhulk. Well, let's Glimmer now then. Because I'll take 3. Confiscation. Oh god. So I can cast that next turn. So if we cast that next turn, what could we steal? We could steal a Siphoner, draw some extra cards. We could steal a Rampager, which is the biggest threat right now. We definitely take that coup. Attune's another potential one because we could play a Dynavolt and Attune and have a lot of energy left. But it feels like we might be able to find some better options. Found a Mountain instead. I'm going to take the 3 here. I think I want to Shock Siphoner, Dynavolt down Ballista, and then Confiscation coup the Rampager on our turn. It also depends what they do here. They might play something. So let's deal with Ballista first. Because I mean, it is tempting to take this, because it is a threat. I feel like they may have taken out removal. And we do get to draw a lot of extra cards. It's probably just, yeah, this is ambitious. It's probably just better to Confiscation coup the Rampager. And now we get hold of Harness Lightning too. And Blossoming Defense here would be annoying, but... Oh yeah, get 1 energy to steal Greenbelt Rampager. Don't mind if I do. And I'm going to block. If the intent is to pump in response, then I'll just Dynavolt it down. What's the follow-up? Another 4 mana play. Ballista on 2 again? I'm kind of fine with this. It just gets another Ballista out of the way. Like we can keep Scrounger under control fairly easily, especially when we've got 2 Dynavolts. I'm just going to take this out now. Actually no, I'm going to take this out on my turn to get the extra energy off the Dynavolt tower. So we're on 6 energy. We are tapped out. Well, we're not tapped out. We've got no cards in hand. So there are Traverse the Orvan World. That's not great. Lost the target here. Virtuous Gearhawk. If we've got that on this turn, that's going to be tricky. So what's the last card in hand? Because they can cast the Gearhawk next turn. So there's something else in hand. So, okay, Harness Lightning is a beautiful draw there. Possible I could have attacked with Lumbering Falls. In fact, probable I should attack with Lumbering Falls. So Scrap Heap Scrounge comes back. Still 2 mana up? Trying to think what else they can have here. So Hissing Quagmire. So if I use this, I go down to 1 energy. Harness gets me 4, 6, 8. And the Scrounge is going to become more and more of a problem, so we really want to find like our Incendiary flow. Oh, also we can just kill the Gearhawk on the stack, so we don't even need that much energy. But yeah, there is certainly some concern about the Scrap Heap Scrounger. And I tapped out this turn. I know we should probably hide the land, but realistically, at this point in the game, they are not going to play around a counterspell when we're both in top deck mode. And getting the damage in now is quite relevant. Longtusk Cub, that's fine. Natural Obsolescence, not great, but also fine. Disallow. Okay, so now... So they're going to exile something from a Scrounger. We could disallow that. But I just feel like a bit of a waste. Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 targets for that. I am going to trade off the Lumbering Falls for something here. Might as well get rid of the Quagmire permanently. It feels we can still get out of this situation. Torrential Gearhawk is what we're looking for. Disallow number 2, not so much. Because the problem is, at the moment with Disallow, it's a handy card, but we currently don't have any targets for it. So we're going to go to 5 here. God. And this is rough, but because we really need the energy off the Dynavolt Tower, I'm going to disallow this trigger. Because we need to be able to bolt something next turn. Oh god, a second Scrounger is not what we needed. Oh, do we disallow that? I kind of feel like we don't, because they're just going to return it. Negate. So, are we dead on board? We are. Yeah, we are. And people said this is supposed to be a favourable matchup. Well, we could see if our opponent decides to play around nothing. Well, they didn't go quite to plan. We only have ourselves to blame for the first game. So, there you go. Back for another one soon.